Hello there, and welcome to BunkaMania here on the Bunkazilla UK YouTube channel. I am the Dekker Dane, and I'm here for, we're doing something new, experimental, short form, quick, digestible, easy to kind of take a power bomb and kind of move on with your day. It's a very short video. We're going to talk about something that's come up on NXT recently, or basically yesterday at time recording on the 16th of November. As always, I'm not alone on these shows, and usually my co-host would be presenting, but I've taken lead, and I am joined by the giant, the mighty, Mr. Jeremy Graves. Jeremy, how are you doing?
Not so bad, thank you. Not so bad. In the nicest way to put this, especially for the benefit of our video viewers here, it's weird being on this side of the screen.
I don't like change, Ian. I don't like change.
Nah, but you know what? I'm liking. We've been thinking about doing this for a little while, sort of like these, like you say, short powerbomb type things. So I'm curious to see what you have got to say to me, because cards on the table, folks. As we've documented before, I don't really get time to watch WWE stuff, let alone NXT. So I've really got no idea what's happened on those shows. And NXT featured an announcement, which I have no idea what it is. And that's the purpose of this little concept video today.
Yes, so essentially for new viewers and new listeners coming in, I predominantly watch a lot of WWE stuff. Obviously, you can tell if you're watching the video version, I've got Hounds of Justice to celebrate the Shield. I think it's their 10th anniversary of the Shield.
Oh, don't say that, is it?
It is.
Oh, my word.
It is.
Whatever happened to Dean Ambrose?
I mean, it's not like he had a paradigm shift and went over to somewhere in Jacksonville, Florida, and became a 3-time champion. Who knows?
Kicked down the forbidden door.
But yes, I cover a lot of WWE stuff, but I also enjoy watching AEW. Jeremy is more into the AEW world, as well as New Japan Pro Wrestling and Ring of Honor. So together we combine to share our passions of wrestling here at BunkaMania. So before we kick off with the main content, do us both a big favor. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. That way you get new videos from BunkaMania fresh to your subscription feeds as soon as possible. If you are listening to this on audio form via Apple or Spotify or Google or even Amazon Music, do hit the subscribe button there so you get fresh episodes. Sometimes you will get exclusive audio podcasts only. So sometimes we do this, but we do it only for audio listeners. So it pays to subscribe to both feeds. Yes, that's the general housekeeping. I think I've covered all of this. I haven't done the hosting side of things before, but I think I've covered everything. We're good. Let's talk about Deadline. So, coming up December 10th.
Wait,
NXT.
Stop there. Stop. What the heck is Deadline?
I was just about to explain.
Oh, sorry. Okay, you just said deadline. So wait, did I miss a deadline? Like, that's what I thought. Sorry, I got my work brain on.
That's fine. So let's talk about NXT Deadline. It is their last special premium live event. Well, it's going to be at the Performance Center again, but it's happening on December 10th, which I believe is the same day as Final Battle.
Yeah,
possibly.
Oh my! How many shows are happening on the day of Final Battle? That's a debate for another day. But yes, that is the same day.
But I think Final Battle is happening in the afternoon. I think it's got a 4 p.m. start time in America. So I think it's
watchable in the UK. That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah, so it's going to be Final Battle first and then NXT Deadline. Let's focus on NXT Deadline. So NXT Deadline is going to be the final main show of the year for the NXT brand. Obviously, it's gone through a bit of a fresh coat of paint. It's no longer a multicolored mess of madness. I mean, some bits of madness are still there, but it is slowly but surely getting slightly better. So we'll have big matches. We will probably see Braun Breaker defend the NXT Championship, possibly against Apollo Crews, who has become #1 contender. But the piece de resistance of Deadline is it's one brand new match type, but it's for the men's and for the women's. And this was announced on the latest episode of NXT by Shawn Michaels. And he has introduced something, Jeremy, as the Iron Survivor Challenge. God. And this will determine the #1 contenders for both the men's and the women's NXT Championship. Here's how it goes down. There are quite a bit of rules here, so please bear with me.
And paper.
You may do, because there may be a quiz later on. But here we go. We start the match with 2 combatants. 2 wrestlers start in the ring. Every 5 minutes, another wrestler joins until there are 5 wrestlers in the ring, at which point it is within the 25-minute time limit, including the people who have arrived, whoever can lock up or score up the most pinfall victories in the allotted time will be the winner. You can earn a pinfall by pin, submission, or if someone is stupid enough to get a DQ. If you are on the losing side of the fall, you get to go to a punishment box for 90 seconds, and only then may you return back to the match. That's it in a nutshell. I mean, there are certain connotations and certain remembrances of King of the Mountain from TNA, which I've only watched 1 or 2 matches of that.
Probably for the best.
Probably for the best. It kind of feels in a way there's a kind of reverse psychology if you compare to something like a Royal Rumble. So the Royal Rumble, if you're like number 30 or number 29, you have the benefit of going into the match strong, going, yeah, I'm going to hopefully knock everyone else out and become the number 1 contender for the championship. Whereas this time, if you are the last person into this match, by this time, you start off with 2 people. So 2 people becomes 3 after 5 minutes, becomes 4 after 10, becomes 5 after 15. You've got 10 minutes to get as many pinfalls as you possibly can. Pinfall submissions or get on the end of a DQ as fast as you can. Because people who start off from the start will have the advantage of being able to rack up those pinfalls quicker, per se. So there's that sort of reverse element. I'm curious about this. I think I need to see it in execution, but it might be something. It's something different. But it's like you've gone awfully kind of, you're kind of mulling, you've gone awfully quiet, Jamie, which either means 2 things. You're about to say, I don't like it, or I have questions.
I mean, bit of both.
Okay. Okay.
No, I wanted to make sure you said everything you had to say before I may perhaps cut you off, as I am accidentally one to do quite a bit.
Well, that is the Iron Survivor Challenge in a nutshell.
I think, as a concept, there's a lot of legs to it. And I don't mean just the wrestlers' legs. I think the idea it puts more emphasis on who is in earlier. It is quite a novel concept in wrestling, quite frankly, because normally it's, who can outlast the competition. Like, I mean, part of the idea that I thought of when you were describing this also was war games. When people come in after a certain amount of time as well, there's an element of that. As a baseline concept, this is not a bad concept by any means. The execution of it is what's going to be most important, and who is in the match. Because if it ends up just being dull or something, because people aren't perhaps trying to get a win, because they don't want to be in the penalty box or something, there's a lot of potential variables that could make this a complete car crash. But I think it would depend on who you've got. But it's also, there's an interesting drama dynamic to it. Like you said, with kind of the time restriction, the shorter time you're in the match, there is the argument there could still be favorability towards whoever comes in later,
If they're superpowered.
Yeah, because if they're fresh and everyone else has been pummeling each other trying to get pinfalls and stuff, there's pretty ways to manipulate that a little bit. But it's not the worst idea in the world. And what's the actual match called again? Sorry,
the Iron Survivor Challenge.
Iron Survivor Challenge. I mean, yeah, that's got Iron Man connotations to it, I suppose, or Iron Person at this point.
So basically, I think the best way to describe it is it's a multi-man Iron Man match with a bit of a sin bin and a bit of a time frame of war games to it.
It's also like Elimination Chamber in many ways.
Yeah, but you don't get eliminated if you get pinned. You just get put in a little box for. I mean, if someone gets pinned and they've taken a real power move and they can't get up, the referee's going to have to drag them out the ring. Going to have to put them in the box and go, wait there. It's like, okay, 90 seconds has passed. Let me back in, and get, I don't know, speared by Braun Breaker against something like that. He won't be in this match because he's the champion.
It's not the worst idea in the world, is how I would sum this up. It's an interesting concept, but like I say, ultimately, it's the who and how this is done in execution that is going to be the most key of all.
Yeah, I think it links into the deadline sort of theme well, because obviously it was like this is the time limit, the deadline of getting as much in as possible. This might work quite nicely. And considering War Games is kind of now being lifted and moved over to the Survivor Series, and maybe they're now as a main roster thing. NXT needs its sort of signature thing back again. It kind of needs at least a match which you can only really see in NXT. So this could be something. We'll have to see. But no, I'm with you. It's like it's an interesting concept. I think the execution is going to be important, and the people involved in that first match. Because I think if you can get the first matches out of the gate very well, I think this might have some legs. Even though there'll be 10 in each match, 20 in total legs. But yeah, there you have it. That is the Iron Survivor Challenge in a nutshell. Let us know what you think in the comments below, or you could do a running big boot and boot us some communications over to BunkaMania at bunkazilla.co.uk. It will be lovely to hear your thoughts on NXT, the world of wrestling in general. And don't forget, hit the like and subscribe button. That way you can make sure you get fresh BunkaMania episodes to your subscription feeds as soon as they are released. That's going to do it for now. I have been the Dekker Dane, joined by good old Jeremy Graves. We shall see you next time here on BunkaMania. Until then, bye-bye.